In the 2023 ReliaQuest Bowl, Alabama had the perfect opportunity to make a statement, especially after a season filled with uncertainty and speculation about its place in the postseason. With much of the focus on three-loss teams and potential NFL draftees, this game against Michigan was crucial for Alabama's program. But instead of shining, the Crimson Tide faltered, falling 19-13 to a Michigan team missing several key players. Alabama's struggles began early and only snowballed from there. The Crimson Tide turned the ball over on downs, followed by 3 consecutive turnovers that put them in a 16-0 hole. That deficit proved too much to overcome, as Alabama's offense couldn't find a rhythm against a Wolverines defense with its own injuries. Quarterback Jalen Milroe had a tough outing, finishing with 192 passing yards on 16 of 32 attempts, 1 touchdown, and an interception. But the real killers were 2 lost fumbles, which compounded the offensive struggles. The Crimson Tide's inability to protect the football and sustain drives became glaring throughout the game. Despite missing several starters, Michigan capitalized on Alabama's mistakes and played disciplined football to keep its lead intact. The Wolverines' defense, while not at full strength, was more than enough to keep Alabama's offense in check. The Tide's offense simply couldn't match the tempo or effectiveness needed to dig itself out of the early hole. Kalen DeBoer, Alabama's head coach, faced harsh criticism following the loss. This marked his first bowl game defeat with the program, and it also sealed Alabama's first 4-loss season since 2007, an outcome that's rare and hard to stomach for a program of this stature. The loss served as a reminder that despite all the talent on the roster, Alabama's season was plagued by inconsistency and mistakes that they couldn't overcome, especially when it mattered most. Alabama's 9-4 record doesn't reflect the team's potential. While they had high moments, including a few big wins, their inability to execute in critical games, like this ball game, leaves doubts about the program's direction. The struggles on offense, particularly the turnovers, have been a recurring theme for Alabama this season, and they'll need to address those issues heading into the 2024 campaign. The Crimson Tide now face a crucial off-season. With a new season on the horizon, Alabama will have to rebuild and regroup if it hopes to return to the top of college football. DeBoer, under pressure to lead this storied program back to national prominence, will be chief among those with something to prove. The 2024 season kicks off with a high-stakes game against Florida State at Doak Campbell Stadium, and Alabama will be looking for a strong showing to quiet the critics and regain its place among the elite. As for the ReliaQuest Bowl, it was a harsh reality check for Alabama. For the first time in a long while, the Crimson Tide had a tasteless medicine, with social media and pundits pointing out the team's inability to rise to the occasion. Alabama's offseason will be defined by how they respond to this bitter loss and whether they can turn their fortunes around next year.